You're listening to the Icebox Radio Theater's presentation of The Traveler.
Sine wave. Square wave. Sawtooth wave. White noise. Pink noise. Vibrations on air, but more than that, it's about movement. It's about physics, movement at an atomic level. Electrons flying around a nucleus, flying around protons and neutrons, elements vibrating, moving at different speeds. Can we change them? Can we alter them? Because if we could, then we could alter everything. When I was a kid, my father left. And because my father left, my mother became clingy. She never wanted me to be dirty. For some reason, she saw my cleanliness as the primary indicator of her abilities as a mother. I could not be dirty, so I never was. And for that reason, I was fascinated by this auto shop, this garage that shared an alley with our apartment building. I'd sneak down to that alley, to the garage, which was full of very dirty, very hardworking men. They took a liking to me, even though I wasn't allowed to go inside. And what I remember most was their friendliness, their good humor, the way they razzed each other and me. And I remembered the gasoline rainbows in the puddles outside this garage. I was fascinated by them. Rainbows in the sky, they dissipated. They came and went according to some cosmic force I didn't understand. But these rainbows stayed. Even when it rained, they stayed. They were this result, this product of a problematic marriage between humans and the natural world. Gasoline, that's refined oil. Human, man-made. Water, that's a base element. A base element of the very planet, that which makes it possible for us to exist. Mixing, and yet not mixing. Isn't this science? Isn't this what it's really about? Mixing but not mixing? I mean, face it, we've conquered the natural world. Everything we worried about 100 years ago has been more or less sorted out. As I sit here speaking to you, I'm in my house, and there's a blizzard coming. They're predicting up to 20 centimeters of snow, and I couldn't care less. I'm in a warm house with central heating, overcoming the cold. There's insulation, overcoming the wind. I'm sipping a cup of tea. Electricity, heating, water. We've overcome it. We overcame it 100 years ago, but then what happened to progress? What happened to moving forward? What happened to overcoming other things? Other things. The doctors told her that she had an infection. What they didn't know is that she had a heart condition. She didn't know that either. But the doctors, they didn't know because they didn't test for it. They didn't test for it because they were poor scientists. Her coma lasted 3 days and then it was over. Everyone told me they were very sorry, but when I suggested that we had to do something, that we had to take action, when I even suggested that we had to take action after we put her in a box and we put her in the ground, that we had to do something, they started to worry about me. They started to apply their piss-poor science to me. When I talked about changing the fabric of things, they didn't want to hear it. They called me insane, but I'm not. Because of gasoline rainbows. Atomic level movement, electrons orbiting a nucleus. What if we could change those? What if we could reverse their direction? What if we could slow them down or speed them up? I mean, I can create sound. Those are just waves on air. That sound, it didn't exist before. It only exists now because of my will. What if you could do the same thing at the atomic level? Experiment number 1. Hotel room. The last place we spent a night happy. It was 5 years ago. We were going through a rough stretch in our marriage. We had car trouble driving back from her parents' place. The visit had gone badly. Gotten into a fight with her father, and then the rains came. After the car conked out, we found a motel that to the naked eye appeared to be nothing special, just a roadside flea trap. But strangely, everything about the room was just perfect. It was clean, and even though the fixtures and the furniture were all old, all of it was well maintained, and there were little touches everywhere, little bits of kitsch here and there, little figurines on a shelf on the wall, cherubs and ponies. She loved figurines. She loved small, smooth, porcelain cupids and unicorns, and I could tell just by touching that shelf that it was installed correctly. Wood screws set deep in the stud. You probably could have put 50 or 60 pounds on that shelf. It wouldn't have given a single creak. Everything about the room was right. So we went to bed with the rain pounding against the windows, the clean sheets against our skin, feeling safe. We couldn't go anywhere until the mechanic came the next morning, so we stayed. And we made love more passionately and more sweetly than we had in years. We never made love like that again. I return to that hotel. I go in November when it's likely to be cold and wet and raining. It is cold, but there is no rain. I lay on the sheets of the bed, and I use the greatest tool I have for the experiment. I use my mind. I concentrate. I try and clap with my mind. I try to move the atoms around in a different direction. If I can just turn it back like a clock, if I can go back and find her before she was in the hospital bed, find her before she was doing what she was told by an incompetent quack, before she was in the ground, I can take the pills from her. I can stop her from taking the medication that killed her. I can stop everything. I listen deeply. A fan or a motor nearby. Maybe the air conditioning unit. I hear the freeway a quarter mile away. White noise. That's the trick. The trick is to find the white noise under all the other sounds, and then reach into it. Block out everything else. Concentration is the art of elimination. Eliminate everything but the white noise and reach into it deeper and deeper until you can identify that single atom spinning. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Stop. Now give it a slap. Other direction. Slowly it starts. Other direction. Medium fast. Gears grinding. It doesn't want to spin this way, but I'm the one in control. It's responding to my will, human will. Gasoline rainbows. Now pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. The white noise of the freeway is a freeway again. The air conditioning fan motor is running. There's a faint tinnitus hum in my ear. I get up from the bed and look outside. Everything's different now. I leave the room and go out the door. There's no one in the lobby at the front desk. I leave the building and go outside. There's no one on the street. My watch tells me it should be 6 in the morning, but it's pitch black. The sky should be dark, night blue by now, but it's not. I walk 2 city blocks, then I walk a mile, but there's no one. I go back to my car, but it won't start. I begin to walk the 5 miles to my home. It takes me a couple hours, but I never see anyone else on the road. The sky is purple by the time I reach my house, and my key doesn't fit in the lock. I break a window, I reach through and unlock the door and then open it. Inside, it's dark. The light switches won't work. And I go down the hall, and I turn to the kitchen doorway. And when I cross the threshold of the door, I see a woman sitting at the kitchen table with her back to me. Her hair is long and raven black, but my wife's hair was auburn. And I'm overcome with a kind of childish, overwhelming fear. I'm overcome with the same feeling I used to get watching Gasoline Rainbows, when one of the men in the garage would make a joke that made me feel strange. I'm overcome, and I close my eyes and I concentrate, looking for the white noise, looking for the way home. And I hear nothing. The Traveler was written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Copyright 2017 by the Icebox Radio Theater, all rights reserved. On the web at iceboxradio.org.